Wait.
Morning.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and thanks so much for being here. And happy National Day. Okay, so I think today I have the privilege of having a good friend of mine and also an educator who I respect a lot. Yeah, I need
Oh,
to hear that.
thank you. I never
Yeah.
see that coming.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. So her name is Teacher Jo. Yeah.
Hello,
Call her
everyone.
Jo. Yeah. Um, and she's a very popular science teacher in BlueTree Education, an educator of more than 15 years and a mother of 3 kids. And I think the reason why I brought her up here is because besides being an educator in her own rights, she is also a very hands-on mommy, teaching her children all the possible subjects taught in school. Yeah. Hello, Jolene.
Hello, John.
Okay, Jolene. Okay. Actually, we had a long chat when I first met you, and in fact, those are your career life lah. Yeah,
Mm.
I haven't really asked you like what's your backstory, how you end up teaching science, and also I want to hear your backstory. Like you can go all the way to the past, like once upon a time.
Okay. So first of all, I really love science. Okay, I was already quite a good student. In science. Okay, and it was I would say it got more this excellence in science got more prominent, as I progress the education journey. So I remembered that okay, I belong to the old generation whereby dissection is allowed, okay, in biology. So when I was in secondary 4, and then when if you take biology, then you need to dissect a few things lah. Okay, one of them is a frog. So my teacher was like watching me, and then he was very impressed by my cool and calm. But actually, he didn't know that I already dissected at least like 20 frogs in my life, because I grew up in a kampong.
Oh,
So
really? Wow.
yeah, I grew up in a kampong. I was one of the last residents of the kampong. So I actually only moved out of the kampong when I was in primary school. So that was like one of my first few memories. So the frog was nothing to me now, the anatomy.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me it was very swift, while the rest of my classmates were like, yeah, squeamish, but I was already taking out the respiratory parts, then locating the heart. So that was that. And then later on, we went on forward to the heart of a sheep. So that was the time. So the heart of the sheep. So I was very calm, and my teacher was again very impressed. And I actually thought for a moment I may end up in the medical school. Okay,
Mm.
but guess what? I'm actually very afraid of blood. So yeah, so that was something that I couldn't get over it. Then later in JC, same thing, Then, but I love science. I feel very curious about science. And one thing that I always tell the children is you don't learn science just to pass your exam or just to get through the PSLE or the O levels. When you learn science, right, you find that science makes you feel alive, and because you become very curious, it develops this love for learning. Because you will always question, why is this happening? Is this really, the what and how, there's a lot of questioning behind. So when I became a teacher, I realized that children who love science, they are very good learners, and they continue to progress. So even like now I have some students who are adults, those who are very good in science, right, they continue to have this very healthy questioning, like they're always thinking, they become very creative. They are one of the ones that critical thinking is always engaged. I was a lot, and many of them are actually quite successful now. Of course, success is a term that depends on how you define it very widely. But why I say that they are successful is they, because when you like to learn, right, you are naturally a happy person, and you will definitely be useful. So I find that when they are in that mode, I can see that they're going to add value into their life, into the society. And that's what makes me very proud as an educator. So when I was a kid, to be honest, math is a subject that I was very afraid of. Okay. But I felt that because for my love for science, And because I keep on learning, and science and math have a lot of, interlink, and I felt that it helped me overcome a little bit of the fear, So I remember, for math, right, like there are some questions, and then I start to draw cats and dogs and plants to put my fear down. I use my favorite subject to mitigate the fear in my worst subject. Yeah, so yeah, it's good.
When you say you draw the cats and the dogs in math, yeah, because I'm trying to picture, and I know where you're coming from, because there are many other ways to apply what you love into areas of what you, I wouldn't say what you hate, probably the subjects that you need more help with. Yeah. So how do you actually use drawings to apply to
Okay,
math?
so there are many ways. So one way is I will do a lot of cartoons. I draw a lot of cartoons. So I would say things like, okay, I just give one example. Secondary school cosine, trigonometry. Wow, that one is my nightmare. Trigo.
Do you mind if you hold the mic higher?
Okay. The trigo, like trigo is a nightmare for me. So for example, the trigo, right, all the formulas, you will see that I'll draw a lot of cats and faces on top, just to make the whole thing look very cute, and easy for me to remember. Then like things that I always make a mistake, there are some rules, right, that you keep forgetting. Then, I will draw comics there, like a plant, and then after that I'll draw the plant like with the poison. Yeah, that these are the things that I use. And I also try to put trigo along with chemistry. Now, the rules, I try to tally them, like things that makes me feel a bit more comfortable. So my friends felt that I was very weird. But my math teacher, my secondary 4 math teacher, my secondary 4 E-math teacher, A math teacher, she knew that I was very good in sciences. So she was very kind. She worked out something with my science teacher then, to help me, because I was failing my sciences, my maths, but my sciences is like A1, like, so it's the too big already, the difference. Yeah. Hello, for those of you who just joined us.
Yeah, in fact, some parents actually have registered for this Zoom webinar. Yeah, just now there were 8 parents, but I think probably they got disconnected. Yeah, so I can hear like a lot of many teachers actually did inspire your growth towards not just math or science, but always towards the teaching.
Yeah, definitely.
So how did you end up from where you were in JC, doing not very well in math, but very good in science, getting all the A's and the stars? Yeah, how do you end up being a teacher?
Okay, when I was so first is I actually came from a very poor family. So I was actually on scholarship and bursary. Okay, so I tell this a lot to the children whom I teach. So I'm very I try to give, like pass it on. Okay, so for myself, right, I went to junior college, even though my math was bad, my languages was at its best as well, right? Because I was on scholarship bursaries. Okay, so that's my story. So I went junior college, and I can tell you that I struggled very badly. So after that, university, same thing, because of the government, bursary, I went to university, and then that's where I started tuition. We all know university student and tuition. That's where I started. And then I realized because I was good in sciences, of course, naturally I became a science tutor, right? But I also found a love for teaching. But because I came from a very poor family, so when I graduated, okay, I tried to look for a job that pays very well, right? Actually, I wanted to be a teacher, but also someone advised me not to, right? So so that's my journey. So I went for an interview at the bank, and the minimum requirement was if this gets to any of the new graduates, actually could be I hope can help you also. Okay, so don't give up, can just try. So during my time was the Asian financial crisis, right? So it is not, maybe not as bad as now, I'm not sure, or equally bad. Okay, but job opportunities were hard to come by, and I just I just thought, okay, I'll just try. So I was in an internship because again, I was very poor. So for me, my university days, I would say I spend most of the time working and trying to get money to pay off this, to pay off that. University fees are very expensive, hostel fees, and then the textbook and everything. I was just working. So I had a lot of internship experience. So with the internship experience, okay, I decided, okay, I'll go to the bank. So I went DBS. And then I applied for the job of financial analyst, and I got it.
Okay. Can you share with us, like, because I know that you are very young. Yes, I know you are young. Yeah. So can you give us like a time frame when which year was that, so that
that was like in just before the millennials, just before 2019, 99, financial crisis, 97, 98, 99, that 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So after that I went to New York. Actually, I was posted to New York because so it was like, wow, right now, but during that time, right, traveling for work is not common. And in fact, people don't want that. They don't like it. But I was like, okay, it pays well, can help my family to get out of poverty. I'm the eldest child. So, getting a stable job that pays well was very important, one of the important factors. So I went. And then after that, I went New York. And after that, if you all remember the World Trade Center incident, Twin Towers, after that, I came back and I decided that, my New York days were over and I should return to my initial dream of being a teacher. And I tried with MOE and I got in. Yeah. So that was my story. So that's how I got into. So, okay, I always wanted to be a teacher, and I have started off being a teacher. I mean, I was a tutor. And just that I have a little diversion now, which is good because now they become stories.
Yes, and stories that you can share with your own kids as well. So, okay, because today the main intention is to share with parents how do we get our kids to be keen in science. And I think I hear from you, one of the main factors that have got you to do very well in science is you are very interested in science all the way from your early days, cutting the hearts of sheep from
frogs.
The frogs, yes. So
the legs of cockroaches.
Yes, I remember the days when I was a bio student, and the teacher wanted every one of us to bring a dead cockroach to the school, and I'm Sec 3 then, and one of my biggest fear is flying cockroach. So my mom actually caught it for me with her bare hands. Yeah, so she said, "Nah, bring to school." Okay, thanks, mommy.
Alive or dead?
Dead already. She
crushed it.
She didn't cry because I need the leg for the session because we need to use a pencil to cut out the legs, and it must be a full joint. It must be a full joint. Okay, I didn't know what scope lah. I only remember the part that I have to use a pincer and to pluck it up so nicely that it forms a full joint. Oh my god.
Yeah, then you're supposed to use the microscope to see it. The full view, then you need to draw it, remember?
Don't remind me.
Part of the practical.
Probably I have cast this into a dark chest in the corner of my memory, and now you're trying to remind me. Okay, so I know that you have 3 kids. So can you share with us like how your growing up years and being a science teacher impacted your teaching of kids?
Okay, good question.
Yes.
So as you all know, I grew up in kampong. So actually I have many kampong skills, okay? Like catching cockroach with bare hands, like climbing trees. Okay.
I can't believe it, I'm trying to picture you climbing tree. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone, okay, let me tell you, in the family, right, the one that catches cockroaches is me, not the man.
Even right now.
Yeah, right now. My husband will run away because
the men's club.
Yeah, the father's club. So actually, living in a kampong has this. I don't get squeamish when I see bugs. In fact, I see that as part and parcel because I grew up with them, including snakes, scorpions, and so for me, when I had kids, right, there's one thing that I realized. Do you realize that your children are afraid of the things because you pass on the fear? So, you know, like sometimes when we see certain things, okay, so for me, I am quite afraid of lizards, reptiles like in general, okay? And I'm quite afraid of snakes because I had a very bad incident with them when I was a child. I climbed a tree, you know, and then the python came out and then I fell down, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, those were the time. Very common. Kampong children always fall down. Yeah. So so I have a little fear, okay? But when I had my kids, right, I was determined them not to develop this fear. So what I did was when they were young, you know, I started to go to the zoo very often, you know, then every time when there's this reptile session, right, I make sure that they are there, you know, there's this open area in the reptile place, you know, you can actually touch the reptiles like the lizards. So I make sure that they're always there. So my kids grew up with a love for reptiles. So so that's one thing that I felt that, you know, whatever that you want to develop a love for science, right? You the outdoors, the animals, they're a great way to start with. You know, because children when they're young, anything that moves arouses their interest. You know, they go like, woo, you know, but it's the adults, it's how we overcome our own fear to let them like it. So including like insects, like butterfly catching. So I bought a lot of jars, you know, I was very deliberate in developing their love for outdoors and animals. So I actually, I try to plan at least one activity, you know, that's related to animals per week. So maybe we can, you know, go and do some butterfly catching or catch an ant, put in the glass jar, watch the ant, how it grows. You know, there's ant exhibition, you know, like check out all the exhibitions that's related to animals. The zoo is a fantastic place, the Jurong Bird Park. Now, the outdoor trails, you know, like the Thompson Nature Park, Chestnut Park, East Coast Park, they all have, actually Singapore has great diversity of wildlife. So for those of you who are watching, in case that you do not know, you know, for our size, do you know that we have more biodiversity than the whole of North America? That's very impressive, okay? Because Singapore has primary rainforest plus mangrove. Mangrove is our natural habitat. So therefore, you want to spot any wildlife, right? It's not difficult. So for a very small island, can you imagine the diversity packed in this small island? So it's very easy to see. You go to one place, you can easily point out at least 5 to 6 flora, fauna, animals. It's wonderful, you know, to the tourists. They don't get a chance, you know, they have to travel wide areas just to spot a certain animal or flora, fauna, but we are so packed, but so much diversity is a gem. So that one, when I teach my own children, right, I also try to instill this love for Singapore as well as this love for appreciation, you know, like to be grateful that they are here. That's how science can also connect. So I would say that for me to develop science, this love, you know, when they are young, a little bit deliberate, and also a little planning is required because you need to plan, you know, like family outing, right? Like this week go where, but a lot of times it's really spontaneous on the spot. Yeah.
When you say deliberate, because I know that as a dad, sometimes we are so swamped with our work, and probably many parents here, they do sense the stress, not just from our children's schoolwork, but also their performance in school, manage your household, manage their job. Yeah. So how do you keep your energy up? Because I've been hearing this word deliberate ever since I met you. Yeah. And it seems like it's one of your top values.
For me, because I grew up in a very carefree environment, and my parents, they are they are very traditional. Okay, so for those of you who, again, who are watching, I think especially those of you who are in the same daddies, mummies, same generation, I think you can relate. I grew up in a Hokkien speaking family, so my first language is Hokkien. Right, so you can imagine. All right, they are not deliberate parents, so in a way, it made me I try to be a different parent. Also because I feel that in the modern world now in Singapore, you actually have to deliberately make the childhood carefree. You know, it's not like during our time, it's just naturally carefree. But now, like John pointed out, with the stress of homework, and then the expectations of the society, you actually have to deliberately make your child carefree. My eldest child's character is very serious and solemn. All right. So in education, we learn psychology. All right. So when a child is born, a child is actually born with certain character. Okay, I'm sure you will all agree. It's like so strange, you know, your child's like so much like you in this aspect, or so strange, we are not like that. Why is your child like this? Is your child comes with a certain package. So my child's are also. So when he was growing up, right, I actually, because of him, and because of my own background, I deliberately make his childhood carefree. How? When I come home, the first thing, of course, I ask is, you know, is homework done? I mean, the basic stuff that any parents will ask. But I soon realized he's very automatic. You call it automatic, right? Yeah. But I realized it's not automatic on the play. So after homework, he will still do a lot of academic stuff. Yeah, I know that some parents say, oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
But for me, is I saw the other side, which worries me, you know. Does he know how to enjoy life? You know, does he know what happiness is? Does he know what kindness is? Does he know what is socialize? You know, so these are things that other stuff, you know, that comes to me. So I deliberately, I will put down his work. You know, I say, let's go out, you know, let's go down, let's go for a walk, you know. And Singapore is great, right? We are garden society. Anywhere you live, there's a garden. So just take a walk. And then I started to, you know, show him the trees, and then I started point out, mango trees are everywhere for us. Izora, you know, sucking the nectar, you know, so things that I used to do. So I started with him. All right. And then that's how I make it deliberate. So every day I come home, I make sure my children has 1 hour of outdoor time, regardless, 1 hour outdoor time. And trust me, there's many times I come home, I just want to watch the TV. I just want to zonk out. All right. Trust
me
me.
also, me.
Yeah, so many times, right? Yeah, but I set a timer for myself. So whenever I do, I set a whatever, if I feel extremely tired, okay, I tell you parents, okay, I tell you, I will stay in my car, eat my chocolate, do my things. I set a timer, 30 minutes, then I go out. Then after that, I tell myself, okay, you must be mature. You're the adult now. You go up, you must start to do work again, the parenting work. So I have to tell myself that. So I will stay, especially if I feel very tired, I won't go up. I will stay in the car. I try not to let my emotions affect that. So this is deliberate parenting. You all can Google, there's this thing called deliberate parenting. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, or the parents, you can try also intentional parenting. There's
intentional, lots of
design.
Correct.
Yeah. I think for parents who are watching this, there's a mixture of parents from BlueTree Education as well as Learning Out the Box. And I think we regardless of parents coming from either way, I think what I want to say now is when you watch Teacher Jo share, right, I want you to observe how she share. It's like coming from within. Yeah, and she's just sharing her story. And I think what I admire about you is the science. Okay, I wouldn't say that you teach science. I would say that you are science.
No.
Yeah, I mean, okay. You see, that's why I don't teach English. So I'm not good with my words. But I think what I'm trying to say is you really bring out the life in science. Yeah, you really bring out the life in science.
Thank you.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah. So and you don't just teach and transfer that kind of fun learning to your students, but also to your kids as well. And I know that you've been teaching for at least over 15 years.
Yes.
And you share with me that you'll teach all the way until you can't possibly do it anymore. But you will teach. I mean, you'll be your
a lifetime job.
Yeah, your lifetime job. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think, can you share with us one more thing, because I think this is something that we want to reiterate, the deliberate or intentional parenting part on science. Yeah. So what are some of the deliberate thing that we parents can do when it's not intentional in our own vocab, but we just want to try. So what can we do?
So John, maybe you can let me share my slides. I actually prepared some.
Oh yeah. So sorry, I forgot about it. Yeah.
I actually did a few slides.
Yes.
Okay, so first, I truly believe that science can develop a love for learning. All right, I witnessed this in my 3 kids. Okay, not of course, my 3 kids are not science lovers like me. I've be very honest. None of them is like me. They all have their own talent and strength and weakness. Okay, my eldest, he's actually extremely good in math, which is something until now when I watch him do math, I'm like, okay, how did I pass that genes to you? You know?
Probably from your husband?
Yeah, my husband's very good in math.
Yeah.
So my husband's extremely, so he got my husband's gene. Okay, so I cannot, that area is like no communication. In fact, he teaches me math. All right. So that's his strength. Okay. So he's not really a science lover. My second one is performing arts. Right. My second child is she's actually special needs. So she has her own struggles, and she's definitely also not in science. My last one also, I think, good in math. Okay, she's still very young, but I've beginning to teach her some number sense, and then how to read the time. So she seems to grasp the concept very fast. I don't know, maybe John can tell me. She can read the 4:45, that kind of thing. She's like 4+.
4:45? What
Like,
you mean?
as in, like, she can read like 5:45, She can read the quarters.
That's awesome.
For 4.5, right? I think she's not say awesome, but she seems okay, right? Like, she likes it very much. So I will see her, playing with the hands of the clock. She will shift on her own, and then she will tell me, "Mommy, this part is the same." So she will shift it into, she can see the fraction, the 12 and the 6. She will tell me this part and this part same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably knowing you, I think you could have said things like related to food or cake or chocolate cake . Yeah. So I think maybe, okay, I would say that part of your teaching and association with food helps.
Maybe.
And I'm sure that you have added some food when you teach.
Yeah, sweets, yeah, maybe. So she does that. So I see that. Okay, so that they are not in science, but the thing is, because I was so deliberate in doing science, right? That love of learning, that questioning, that creativity, I see every day in my 3 kids, and I was so glad that I introduced science from young, from baby, when they are like babies, babies' fingers and toes. So actually, I would rub spices, just weave in the air. Food again. Sorry. Yeah. So I will do that. Then I will introduce the colors like orange and apples and pears. These are the 3 good colors: are red, orange, green. A lot of parents didn't realize the red, orange, green. Babies can usually cannot see red and green. Babies see black and white. Until about 6 months, they start to see the red and the green. So when your baby can follow the apples and the pear, you know something already. Your baby has gone on to the next stage.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So when they can follow, it's eye-hand coordination. So I use a lot of the real life. So I don't really buy toys. Sorry, I'm not a fan of toys. Okay. I prefer them to play with sticks, branches. So when they come home with like a dead caterpillar, I'm very excited. Yeah. Curry leaves. Curry leaves, when you buy curry leaves from Sheng Siong, confirm can find caterpillar one. Keep that one. It will become the moth. There's two types of species that eats curry leaf. Yeah, one is the lime butterfly. The other one is the common moth. The moth is really big. So when it becomes the big moth, wow, the children get very excited. The green color caterpillar with the big eye? Yeah, it eats the curry leaves. So I would deliberately go to the market, and then I will try to find those with caterpillars. The aunties, they also know. Then chicken bones, after they eat, I will think, the bones, I'll break it into 2, then show them, see, hollow. Come, let's make music.
Let's make what? Let's make what?
Music. Blow. Oh. It's hollow. The KFC chickens are the best. McDonald's chickens are the best. Or you pour vinegar, then they will become rubbery. Vinegar is always used in. So yes, because I'm a science educator, all these things comes to me very easily. I recognize that. But my husband, who's not an educator, he got influence as well. So when he I see that, he will deliberately ask the children, hey, how come the clouds are like that? Where's the sky blue? He will deliberately do the things I do, but in his own way. Yeah. So I always ask the children question. All right. So let's come to the slides.
Yeah. Okay, quick question
I can't
that
share
you can
yet.
address it later. Because I know that you are sharing things beyond the science syllabus. Yeah, and how do you act? I mean, and I know that you're very good in your science, but do you read up more at your own time? And I also want to bring your husband in because I think there's great dynamic in a sense of both husband and wife holding up the value of deliberate sharing and learning in a household. And I want to hear from you, like, what
Okay,
do you do?
maybe a few things. First is,
Okay.
yes, I read a lot. I am an avid reader, again, because I was poor. Okay, so library was my escape. Aircon,
Mm. But now cannot sit inside already.
yeah, now cannot, yeah. But when I was young, I kept myself in the library because I was so poor. I live in a one-room flat. I didn't, so there were times that when you grow up, you want peace. The library is fantastic. It was just across my flat. Okay, so I read a lot. Until now, I still read a lot. Okay, for science, yes. Okay, so number one, yes, I do read a lot. Okay, then secondly, the syllabus. Do I align what I want to teach to the MOE syllabus? I don't.
Yeah.
So for your information, parents, I don't teach my son science. He's P5. I've never sat down with him and teach him a science question. I've never. So what I did was I was very deliberate and intentional in giving him the skills and the techniques. So it's different, huh? All right, that's a different level altogether. All right, because I see that he was like that for math. He doesn't. You give him a P6 question for math, he can do it because he has the skills. He can at least do the first few steps, the skills.
Yeah.
So when they were young, I already try to instill things like discipline, love for learning. Things like that. A lot of you here also do the same. I'm very sure amongst us, we have lots of fantastic parents. Okay, every day I'm inspired by like-minded parents, like you, fathers, mothers, who really, really go all way to teach your child well. Okay, so that's one. So for me, I felt I was lucky because I'm an educator. So like John, we're naturally surrounded by many good, like-minded people and parents. We get access. So when we hear more, you will know what to do. You infuse into your daily life and then you know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, 6, the deliberate thing with the husband. My husband's upbringing is actually pretty cool.
You can bring him up.
He's not here. He's not here. Yeah, sorry. Today is the AB thing. So today he's the team A. He went to work. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
I see. I thought
yeah.
it was a
No,
maths,
he's not.
ABAB.
Yeah. His parents are great. Great parents.
Yeah.
They're very loving and all that. Yeah. So okay. So that's another story.
Yeah,
all right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think you can share your slides first because I think you spend a lot of time on it.
I couldn't share because disabled screen sharing. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Parents, how about y'all? Why don't y'all share some things that you do with your child at home? We can also, like, we are copy session today. You want to tell me some of the things that you do with your child? I love to learn. Yeah.
Okay, how come?
A lot of parents they really surprise me all the time. Anyone?
Teacher Joe, you talk to them.
Yeah, of course. Recently, I have a parent. She's into pressed flowers and plants. Any parent here do that? When we're young, we get a nice flower, we put in the middle of the book. Anybody do that? No? Okay. How many of you here have primary school children? Primary school children like me, like John.
Okay, in the meantime, after you ask a question, maybe you can address some questions from your parents. Let me just because I think suddenly
it's okay, don't worry. It's all right, John. It's all right. We can just talk. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Any questions by the parents?
Yes. Check your Zoom chat.
Yep.
Quite a lot.
I can't.
You can see your panelists.
Okay.
So you just take your time and then I figure it out.
Okay. So if they don't like to read, right, the best way is to do experiments. So Mommy City, you know, the kitchen science, I'm not sure whether you like to cook, but for me, because I cook, so whenever I cook, right, I make my children see. I just ask them take a stool and then look at what I do. And then after that, what I did was with my 3 kids, my youngest is 4+, she's 5 coming. Okay, so the what I do is I will make sure that they ask me one question. So whatever question is okay, just ask me one question about my action. So that day, my youngest actually asked me, when I switch on the lighter, why is that tiak sound? She said, "Mommy, what tiak tiak?" You know, like young kids, So I I actually try to let my children question the things around them and what I do. Science, right? The basis of science, right, is actually good questions. Children who are good in science, they are able to ask very good questions. And if your child is in primary school, all right, and they like science, you might realize that they are able to ask good questions. And therefore, in turn, when they see the questions, right, they find easier to answer. Okay. Another way is watch YouTube videos, you know, National Geographic, BBC, Brain Junior. There's a lot of online resources. Okay. Another way is buy the toys. You know, Toys R Us? Toys R Us have those science experiment sets. Or like Isetan or like Takashimaya, I've seen. Not expensive. They always have promotion one set maybe like $9.90, 2 sets $18. Yeah, they are my favorites. I will buy them. And then when I buy them, right, it becomes a springboard for discussion. So like the recent one that I bought was about hydraulics. I bought quite a complicated set for my elder one. It's on hydraulics. So I am not good with physics. I be very honest. So I tell my son, as we are doing, right, let's discover. So it became a very good springboard. And to my surprise, I found that my son is good at physics. So again, he's very much like the father and not me. Yeah. So there are things like that, you know, then you discover. So I also bought some sets, like I did the perfume, you know, the girls, the very, very princess girls one, the perfume soap. So I did. And then to my disappointment, oh, my girls didn't like it. Yeah, you know, that there are times like that they will surprise you, you know, you get so excited and then they don't want to do. But then after a week later, I brought it out again and they were very keen. So sometimes there's this thing called timing. So you how you want to do it, okay? Okay, Yvonne, you already said that the Mommy Yvonne, yeah, just tell him no overthink. Go straight to the point. You already point out, no overthink, go straight to the point. So actually, it's good that before he writes down the answer, verbalize it. You'll be surprised. He'll be the one who tell you, oh, I think I overthink. You'll be surprised. Yeah, they will be able to tell you. So many times I find that another thing about science is, let me share the screen, which why I love science is this. Science also helps to improve communication skills because there's a lot of reports and records to be done. And scientists, right, they constantly have to think of a way to simplify the terms to the public. You look like coronavirus. How do you manage to understand the report? You know, so the communication skills is something that scientists needs to improve on it. So a lot of times, I also have fine students, you know, the parents say, oh, my child's a linguist. I say, great. And then they say, why? You know, they feel that it didn't help. Not true. Actually, science vocabulary can be built on because of the strength in linguists. It makes sense, right? A child who is strong in linguistics definitely can find words to explain what photosynthesis is better than a child who's not. You know, so this is one thing that I like. Okay, of course, the other two that I've already mentioned, yeah, the trial and errors. I love trial and errors. And the other thing about trial and errors is it builds resilience. Yeah, my own children, right, they get very frustrated and they will actually want to give up. So these trials and errors, right, are also a great way to test your bonding, you know, your parenting skills. how good you can to manage each of your child, how they face failures. I love these sessions. Of course, I find a good time. Trial and errors cannot be like when they're hungry and they're tired. Okay, must be a good time of the day. Right? Of course, it develops observation analysis skills. I love this example. Carl Linus, who came up with the classification system. He's the father of classification. Was he smart? No. Was he a good scientist? No. So how did he become the father of classification? I told the children, he had very good observation skills. And he was so good at his observation skills that he finally one day he observed the patterns. So out of observation skills, right, is this thing patterns. So some children are very good at identifying patterns, but parents, you don't realize that actually what your child have, the real talent is in observation. And in these days, because of social media and the pace of life, observation skills are actually very hard to hone because it requires you to slow down, to go into the details. But these days, if you realize children are very broad-based, right? So if you have a child who's a keen observer, well done. Right. Next one, of course, the love for learning, the constant seeking, for knowledge. And like I say, I see this in many of my older kids now who are now adults, because of this constant seeking for answers, right? I feel that they are usually the more forward thinking, the more the growth mindset is there. They are the ones who will not give up. They are also the ones that will try to make themselves very useful. And they are always asking, how can they do better? How can they contribute? Well, as humans, we have to be in this constant growth, right? The growth mindset. And science is really a good way of teaching growth mindset unconsciously. So you're teaching many things at one go, right? Yeah, so many studies show this, right? Better problem solver, raise their IQ, so right, they are taught because of these principles of hypothesis, logic, reasoning. And of course, when you want them to explain their reasoning, they learn more. And this is actually the basis of PSLE testing children, for parents with PSLE children or primary school children. Why your child finds it so hard to explain open-ended question. Now you know why. Because they are required to explain their own reasoning. So if they're unable to, all right, you need to go back to the basic. So something somewhere is not there, a broken chain. Okay, so this is the way that we can start science at home. Okay, so like I say, surround your child with content, books, apps, websites, videos. I love popular. Okay, I've been very honest. I love popular. Any books that is there, so now my youngest is into dinosaur. So how come she was into dinosaur? Again, I deliberately picked up a book for nighttime story about dinosaurs, and then I struck lottery. Okay, she liked the book. Then after that, just went into a whole. So now we're still on dinosaurs. It's already 3 weeks. So the next thing I will do is I will bring her to the Li Kong Chuan to see that big fossil. Yeah, and and then so what we did was also if y'all know, Google has this 3D animals. 3D animals, very popular during the circuit breaker. You just Google 3D animals, and then the life-size dinosaurs will appear at your house. So she's very into it. Okay, of course the first two they are like, oh, mommy, why? So how to do something else really with them, right? So apps, lots of apps, websites, and I love National Geographic. The Netflix, Blue Planet. Great way of watching, some movie time, some great content out there. There's actually a lot of content, right? Explore. Outdoors and kitchens are the best. Kitchen science are vinegar, baking soda best. All right. Start with the animals first, like I say, because of the that they move, they make sound. I don't know whether this is for your child, but my eldest actually doesn't like the zoo anymore. He finds it smelly, and he says it's boring, so he's morphing into the teenage mode, which it will get to you because you're so excited, and then there's this dampener there, so it also makes you think, okay, what else you can do. So for him, right, actually when we go to the zoo now, I let him play with this app, so some mobile apps there's the mobile app actually that's with the zoo one to like treasure hunt, find the animal. So you have to different age group are different things. Of course, the last two are still very excited. You know, they see the giraffe is like, wow, like superstar, giraffes! You know, the superstar. Yeah, then they'll run and all that. Of course, it's good. Okay, so I love the zoo, the Jurong Bird Parks, and all that, right? Lee Kong Chian is another great place. Now I think the National Museum has a exhibition as well about animals of Singapore, the flora fauna of Singapore. Okay, so questions are the good way. Movies, you know, daily life. So movies. Yesterday we caught a movie called Ash 4, Korean drama about volcano eruption. Right. So there, volcanoes. Right. So there I go about. So I asked them, hey, why always our volcanoes will have earthquakes? How come the earthquakes will happen with the volcano? What's happening? And then, of course, they will know, they will roll eye, you know, mommy goes again questioning. But you see, it gets them thinking. And of course, they didn't answer me because they're so into the movie. But you know that it's a question that, you know, has promising effect. You know, later on can discover about volcanoes, vinegar, baking soda. There we go. Right? Pepsi Cola, Mentos. There we go. All right, the whole carbon dioxide reaction, you know, chemistry, there we go, you know, talk about geographic. So promising effect, chain effect, right? So in our house, right, we actually have a question board in the kitchen. All right, so we have a question board. So that might be the question of the month or the week. So whoever has a question, write it on a piece of paper and then just plug it there. Right, we may address it, we may not address it. All right, but the thing is, what I'm doing is I'm encouraging questioning at home. I want them to be curious. I want them, you know, these are the values that I value very much, to stay curious, to stay connected to the world, you know, to be ever, you know, lifelong learner. You know, so these are the values that I'm trying to create. And so this question, how does volcanoes and earthquakes come together? All right, so this is the question that I put this morning on that question board. And then we will discuss as a family whether you want to take it on, or you want to find out more, do you want to find out more, or just want to Google, you know, and then, okay, done, we got the answer, you know, and then we'll see how it goes, right?
Must the question be related to science, or it can be anything that they are curious about? Or it can be asking for things that you will say no, but they will try their luck anyway.
Oh, okay. So far, they have never done that. Yeah, but but good question. So during the election month, election month, yeah, my son asked a lot of questions. So he asked, what is WP, you know, what's opposition, why is there opposition, why parliament must have so many seats, you know, and then and then the other question he asked was, what's the power of PAP? And then my daughter, because she's into performing arts, she's very funny. She said, why PAP must look like lightning and then WP must look like hammer? Why must hammer and lightning so aggressive?
Oh wow! So you actually feel that, huh?
Yeah, and then she asked, why must they use red color? So such a, you know, like why red? You know, like to her is warning sign. But you know, I try to explain the psychology of red. Okay, so parents, for information, when you see red, right, or orange, it will make you feel hungry or thirsty. It's a color that turns on that sign and also turns on action. When you see red or orange, you tend to want to take action. Okay, so I actually actually I can't show you now, but my laptop table is red. My laptop table is actually red. So I actually use this for homework. So you may say, wouldn't that make my child not focus? Okay, yes and no lah, but it works for my children. So like my second one, right, I need her to take action. I use the red a lot, the color red.
Will pink work? Because my kid's study table is pink. So when you say red, I thought maybe I should change it to red, but will pink work as well?
No.
No, but it's also light red. Maybe small action.
You can try to put some red stuff. Pink actually encourages daydreaming, John.
I wanted to dream big.
Yeah, you can consider lah. Blue is also a good color. Blue is like wisdom, knowledge. Yeah, that's why BlueTree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why your LOB is red. Why you want the children to take action?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I mean that's what my friend did for me.
Oh, okay.
Hey, do you mind if you go back to the last slide?
Yes.
Because I just want to break it down for the parents. I mean, at my skills is looking at patterns and then really making it simple for the parents to understand, because some parents may be asking, so what does this got to do with me? I mean, because I'm seeing a lot of things deep down behind what you're doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know what I miss out. Okay, parents, allow me to just quickly share, because I think there's a lot of essence in what Teacher Jo has shared in this slide, and I really hope that whatever she has shared, you can implement in your house, and probably implement one at a time. Don't go and implement all today. Your children will be driven nuts, and you'll go nuts as well. Okay, don't. Yeah, but some of the parents were like, oh, this is good, it's good. Let me apply everything now. Wow, cannot.
Yeah, and tell me how it goes for you, okay, parents? Yeah, please tell me as well. I'm very keen to know that as well. Yeah. Okay.
So let me just add in quickly for parents. Okay, parents, you can see that whatever Teacher Jo has written here is surround your child, do this or do that. But I think I hope that you don't miss out the point that she mentioned that she is doing it with her kids. Yeah, she did it with the kids and she planned it. So the pre-planning was done by her, doing it was done by her, and she even has a debrief of facilitation, and she has some connector like, oh, what else can my child learn, and also getting to know their kids, to know her kids, and also building that kind of relationship. Yeah, which I thought is daily work. Okay, so parents, if you think that you are someone who are very hands-on and you do things with your kids, this is good for you. But if you are thinking of maybe I can just throw this at my kids and let them do, it's not going to work. Yeah, so something that I thought parents we want to be aware. All these activities must be done for your kids so that the relationship with your kid
intentional
improves. Correct. Yeah. So just want to point out here, because I think a lot of my parents they want their kids to do well in science and maths, but at the same time they say, hey John, these are good ideas, but I don't have time there. Yeah. So I mean I can feel for them now.
Maybe I can share the first thing that you can do even if you don't have time. Yeah, I mean that of course I have moments that I don't have time. I'll be very honest, okay?
Sure.
So there's one thing that you can do immediately. Surround your child with lots of content, right? Now there's NLB app, the National Library app. Yeah, it's great. The app that you can download. There's this whether I can show there's this app. You go to National Library, I download the app, and then what you do is they allow you to borrow up to 15 books. 15. That's a lot, you don't need to go down to the library. So what I do is I tell my son, to search the books that he wants, and then he adds in, and so immediately there's a lot of content, right? Second thing, iPad, iPhone, I love to use the apps as well. So I download a lot like BrainPop Junior, Life Science. There's a lot of apps there for science. So when you're very busy, like for me, I have classes to conduct, to be honest, and my husband has to work overseas. So there are times where I'm like a single parent. Actually, a lot of times I'm like a single parent. Okay. I will tell them, okay, you do this, and then I try to see maybe it can occupy them for maybe 30 minutes, half an hour, and then after switch to the next one. So there's a lot of screen time, yes, but the thing is they are, to me, valuable content. All right. And then after that, I will take it on with questions and exploration. Okay, so the first thing you can do is surround your child with content. Go Popular, buy the science books, go Toys R Us, buy the science kits. There's many of the things that they can do first on their own first. Yeah.
When you say BrainPop Junior, is it the URL that I just sent you?
The URL that you just sent me, I see.
Yeah, just to make sure that
yes,
I
correct.
give the parents the right thing.
Correct. Yeah, these two. Yes, correct. Very good. Wow, multitask. Very good.
Yeah. That's what we do, right?
Yeah, BrainPop Junior is great. Very funny, short, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maximum 5 minutes, and they sometimes explore very interesting content, like how the brain works, how the heart works. Questions that young children will ask.
Yes. Actually, in fact, I know that you also get science kits, like the Mel Science or the other one. What is that?
Kiwi Co.
Yeah, the Kiwi Co.
Yeah, I subscribe to them. Yeah.
Even right now?
Even right now, yeah, I do subscribe. But it's just that I don't do a 1 year. I do periodically. So, okay. Because like I mentioned, I sometimes I have to be the single parent, so-called at home, one parent to 3 kids. So I always say the children outnumber me. So I have to make sure I do it well. And PSLE period, which is now, the fever, the PSLE fever, July to September, I will subscribe. So they are my secret weapon. When I'm very busy with the students, I have to teach, and then I have to answer their questions, and then handle the parents' queries.
Yeah.
I have to focus on my task. So I will say, okay, take this out, do it now. So that one will occupy them for a good half an hour. Yeah, and sometimes even more, but they are expensive, just to let you know. They are not cheap. Okay, so that's my like no choice kind of situation. Yeah. Right.
Wonderful. Yes. I think the other one that I have learned by myself is I will go YouTube. I check out science experiments, maths experiments. So you can choose the ones that you are comfortable with, and then do with your child. Yeah, do with your child. The keyword is not do, but it's with. Do with your child.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yvonne is asking. Okay, I think some parents are asking about the color of the table. They are still asking. Yeah, because I think it could be also related to maybe feng shui lah. Yes, I know some you also know a bit of feng shui. Yeah, but anyway, that one is she asking. What about white table? What about white table?
White is neutral, but white for some humans, it is like inactivity, like very comfortable. That's why your beds are white. You are actually inviting to relax, to not move, to not do anything. But it's also neutral. The best colors are really blue, a little bit of red, not like bright red. That is not good also. So for me, my child's table, or beige color. So my child's table is okay. So depending on your child, So my eldest, he's okay. I don't have like physical tables. Okay, so I understand the limitation at home. I have mobile tables.
Mobile tables.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
like Japanese style mobile tables. So they will, like, what do you call it? The mobile tables they were just
with wheels.
those with not wheels. It's just like take and go. So my eldest one is a beige color because he's already very automatic, like I already told you. So I want him to be calm, and then don't overdo. My second one is red, like I say, right? Then the last one, the youngest one, because she's still very young, so I gave her yellow because yellow is cheerful, happy, sunshine. I just want her to be happy learning. Yeah. And you don't need to change the entire table, parents. You can use stationery, things that can move. You just have to put a stationery holder that's prominently red. It changes really everything. Or prominently blue or prominently green. It changes everything. So depending on your child. So if your child is PSLE, blue is the best color. Yeah. Focus. Yeah, I'm serious.
Blue yes, I know. So parents, right after this, please go straight to Popular and grab all the blue pencils, blue pencil case, pen holder. Then later tonight, news will say that.
Yeah. Blue file. Yeah, so I use files also to change the color. So like my second one, because I mentioned she has special needs. So sometimes she'll melt down. Sure. So I actually have this blue color file, that I will put on her table if I need her to like calm down. Yeah. Yeah, blue pen. No, black. Yeah, blue pens are for the markers. Actually there's some truth to this, Yvonne. There's some truth to this. Yeah, yes. Yeah. True. That's a clever thinking. You see? Okay, so anyway, if you are interested to learn about the psychology of colors, you just Google. A lot of information will pop up again. Yeah. Another thing about blue is blue allows a better sleep. So if your child is like in the, I mean now revision frenzy, right? They will be doing a lot of revision. You want them to sleep better at night. You know, you don't want them, some children I know, after a long day of revision, they can't sleep at night. Too much info,
Too
right?
active.
Yeah, too active. Yeah, blue. Blue is good. Blue or white, switch, or black. Blue, black, white, switches off. Let your child switch off. Okay, so that's another thing for parents to note. Yeah.
Can I just add a quick one that I just tried recently? In fact, I got because and my wife said that she can't really sleep well, so I went to Shopee to get the eye mask, and thank goodness, after I hear from you, I got two blue eye masks. Yeah, okay, but
do you work?
What it helps me is it really black out the whole, like, everything. So I thought I really had more peaceful sleep. I mean, that's my own experience, because sometimes even though our eyes are closed at night, but we can still see maybe the lights from the road. We can still see the room. Yeah, but with eye mask, it helps me to cover and black out everything. So I thought I have more restful sleep. Parents can
Very good.
consider even for yourself as well as your kids. Yeah.
See, that's another science question that you can pursue with your child already. Why does using the eye mask help you to sleep better?
And he'll get stressed because of the question on the eye mask before they sleep.
No, you can easily answer what the primary 4 child, the children should know. Block out is opaque material, block out all light. Yeah, you know.
Yes, and I know that the P4 are doing light and heat. I mean the light now, because I'm the one going through the science question with my
Yeah, but that's a real life question, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Will it turn out in the PSLE in her year? Can you use this material for eye mask?
Yeah. The application question.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions by parents? How about those online? On the Facebook?
What they share. Okay. Anyway, you have to watch your time, because it's actually
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's okay. But let's maybe keep to another 5 more minutes, because I think you have parents online, and there are over 22 parents right now, even in the Facebook Live. Yeah. So Yvonne is still asking about, probably related to the color table. Study table is white, bright orange chair. So what about the chair, Teacher Joe? What about orange chairs?
Chairs are fine. Chairs.
Why?
You don't see the chairs directly. It's the material. Then you put the material on the material on the table. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Orange chairs are fine.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think on top of the colors of the table, but I think as parents, we just want to make sure that it's clutter free. I mean, I know that some kids have so many things on the table, and the
but wait, John. It depends on the child's character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some people learn through mess, like Einstein.
Yeah.
His desk is so messy. Yeah, so it depends. And also,
what do we see from here? I mean, how do we decide if it should be clutter free?
I tell you a secret, okay, parents. Okay, yes. Actually, do you all know that a cluttered table is an organized mind? It's a real psychology. But I mean, okay, maybe because they're still young, it may not really apply. But a cluttered table sometimes actually means an organized mind. Yeah, you have to see your child's character, I would say. For myself, my own children, this is true. Okay, for my own kids, psychologically, when I observe them, it's true. So my second one, she's extremely neat, but her mind is cluttered. She has a lot of thoughts.
Wow,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think it goes to the psychology and the mindset, and also more of the Zen level of the child.
Yeah, but that one is something you need to read about, and you need to apply it carefully. So for me, like, again, intentional parenting, but because also I'm an educator, so I have studied some aspects of child psychology. So therefore, and because I have a special needs child, so therefore I read a lot. By the way, parents, for your information, I read a lot of parenting book. Until today. I read a lot of just yesterday, I was picking up an old book, How to Teach English in Daily Life. You know, so you think that this kind of book, a lot of people it doesn't interest them, but for me, I still took it out to read.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really read in details. I'll be honest. I read 1 or 2 chapters, but I already got a very good tips from the book. So I read a lot of parenting book. Yeah. Because my students are also my babies, ma. I have a lot of students. They are my babies. They are my children. I also need to know how to, you know, every child is different, so I need to be like Doraemon like that. Variety of different tricks. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably I'll just add in. I can totally relate to what you're saying. Yeah, because I think as educators, but also as responsible educators, we need to read a lot. And I think there are some parents who told me that we know a lot, but actually it's not true, because we are always upgrading ourselves. Even for us, we need to read and read and read. So for parents who want to help their kids, there's no end to learning as well, and you have to learn it by yourself.
Correct. I agree. Yeah. Of course, learning can also take place like that. You know, like bouncing off ideas, you know, amongst us. That's also another great way of learning. I love webinars. I think this is one of the best thing that came out from circuit breaker. You know, the learning is immense. You know, I'm learning so many things from different webinars. What John is doing is amazing. You know, the interviews, you know, and all that. It's a great way of learning. Yeah. And I'm sure that you know, and that's why you're here today.
Yeah, I guess the parents who are here, they are more hands-on. That's why they are always upgrading themselves. Okay, one last question we take from the public before I post the last question to you. Stephanie is asking, does reading Young Scientists help to spur interest?
Yes, it does. So a little secret about Young Scientists is don't attempt to read it one shot. A lot of children like to do that. You know, our children always like to blaze through, right? Don't do that. Cut it into 2. Half it. All right. Part 1 today, part 1 tomorrow. Why? Children need time to think about what they have read, and they need time to reflect. But our children are not taught this.
Yeah.
Because of the way the society is. Okay, they are not taught to slow down, you know, in fact, so a lot of my P6, recently I have a P6 kid who told me, there's no value in slowing down in today's society. I was shocked, you know, by the remark. Listen,
but to a certain extent,
there's no value. Yeah, but the thing is, you know, how about, you know, slow down to smell the flowers? It's very sad if everything you're rushing and you don't reflect. I feel as humans, that's what we have to do that. But that's of course my own opinion. All right. For him, when he grows up with different life experience, maybe it will turn a different thing, you know, for him. But I still feel there's some value. So for Young Scientists cut into 2. Another secret about Young Scientists, across the causeway is much cheaper. Okay, parents.
Oh, okay. So if I need help, I will ask you to buy for me, okay?
Now cannot lah. Later on. Yeah, if you have friends who are going across, ask them to bring back. And they have the very popular.
That's okay, because I have not been there before.
Yeah, and they have the very old editions.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so do that, okay. And guess what? If you have a primary school children, you want them to practice science questions, right? They also have inside the inserts are the science questions. So it's like a mini assessment book. So they are great. Yeah, I will encourage you to subscribe. Yeah, the other one that I love is National Geographic Kids, but that one is more not in Singapore local curriculum, right? So it depends on you. So for National Geographic Kids, right, I usually subscribe up to about I don't subscribe 1 year. Again, I do like I say, I first remember the first tips around your child with content. So I do different things at different times. So National Geographic, I find that their later 6 months is a better edition, you know, like Christmas. US, they always throw extra, you know, Christmas.
Oh, you mean from June to December?
Yeah, June to December. They will throw a lot more things. You know, their Independence Day. They will throw a lot of that. Yeah, this one, the Kids National Geographic. Yes, correct. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So first thing, let's surround your child with content. That is the first thing you should do. Right? Yeah. Okay. Right, John, your question for me?
Okay. Just one last question. Just one last tip for me, because I also want to tap on your sharing as well.
Yes.
To wrap up.
Yes.
I like the parts that you say about slowing down, because I went through with my elders and okay parents. I also use Teacher Joe's science keyword book. So later I want you to share that. It's very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, again, parents for wondering why I'm doing this is because I think let's put aside all the different brands of the centers, but I think it's pointing out to parents good resources that even I use. Yeah, so we're talking about friction, and my child asked me, so what's friction? So I said, you go to YouTube and check. Yeah, so end up we talk about different frictional force. She realized she found then we also
Static,
took
moving.
and we also took out her shoes and look at the sole, what friction
Oh,
cause, and we rub our hands together. And I asked her to go and rub her hands against the cupboard with different force. Yeah, so one mere friction word can bring out 1 hour of discussion on friction. But again, parents, I think sometimes it's very hard to
wow.
take out this kind of time. But as for me, like teacher Joe here, I think we are more of like intentional parents lah. We really want we are tired, we are busy, but we just try our best every day to fight and cry sometimes really and also to wonder why we're doing this. But at the end, our children are just there to push us on. Yeah.
I think as
So
parents, the
yeah.
biggest joy is to watch your child bloom. But for your child to bloom, you have to be an intentional parent. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. So like now I'm having the webinar with you. So my youngest has no lessons. So she's actually at my in-laws, all right, the grandparents. So before I pack her off, I actually put some books inside,
Read it before you come back. Finish it.
No, she can't really read now, intentional, So but yeah, flip, so I gave her some things. Oh yes, Yvonne, very good. I love what you say. Yeah, a child is like a seed, must water and feed every day. Yes, this is so me.
I must post what Yvonne has shared in the Facebook.
Yeah, well, yes, it's very true. I agree. Yeah. So for me, I feel that there are some privileges that we have that we cannot take lightly. I don't know whether the parents here have the same feeling as me. I find that I am very lucky to be a parent. To be a parent, I feel that I'm so lucky. I don't take that for granted. I feel that this is a privilege given to me, just like as a teacher. I feel that it's a privilege to be a teacher. I think that it's important to honor that privilege and do within what I can, my best. Yeah. So I think that a lot of you here feel the same way. It is, I'm sure every day you're counting your blessing. You're a parent to this wonderful being in your house. If I use a science keyword, a wonderful organism in your house. And so that privilege, I don't take it lightly. Yeah. So when I feel very stressed, and I just feel like, by the way, I'm a gamer. Like John, okay, I play a lot of games, a lot of computer games. I play a lot. Yes. So when I feel like going that, right, I will remind myself, wow. That's another thing.
I'm a big fan of them, so I also got from them.
Do you get the mask? Sorry,
the mask, the Razer mask, no.
Yeah, okay.
My children say I sell wear the mask.
Okay, anyway, sorry. That's a diversion.
Yeah, okay. Please go on.
So when I feel like, let's bring back to my own leisure activities, right? I will remind myself. And because I have the privilege of talking to many parents, like you, and some parents have older kids, they will always remind me, Joe, just another 5 more years. Joe, just another 3 more years. They will always remind me that when your child grows up, right, they go, you don't have the chance to do all these things. Yeah, so I always tell myself, yeah, very tired, but another maybe 5 more years for me, I suppose. Yeah, because my youngest is already 5. So soon she will, 5 more years, primary 4, that's it.
Yeah.
She won't want to follow mommy. She won't want to follow daddy. Even now the hugs from my elders is like few and fleeting. You know what's fleeting? Very fleeting one. Not a true hug. Yeah, very fast, few and fleeting,
Plus when they hug, you don't feel their hands around your.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel very sad. Sometimes the times that I really have with him like this is going to disappear very soon. He's going to be a teenager. I'm not going to be the main star in his life. Some other girls is going to be the main star. So it's like, yeah, I'm very aware. So have to spend more time with our kids.
Yeah. So with that, would you be able to share in a sentence or two, like what is one final tip that parents can start right now? Yeah, probably to write on what you just shared.
There was a period of time that I felt very down, because so many things to do, and then I didn't spend a lot of time with my children.
Mm-hmm.
So so what I did was I reflect. Yeah, I feel that again reflection is powerful. It's like a mirror, and you ask yourself what kind of future you want to have with your children. Do you want them to come home and have dinner with you? Like this coronavirus, I'm sure you can also relate. How did you do you miss your own parents, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want your children to miss you? If a similar thing happens, yeah. So what kind of future you want with your child? Usually we think of a future that you want with money, you want retire. But for me, constantly I'm thinking, what kind of future I want with my children? Yeah, I want them to still, hi, mommy, how are you? Have you had dinner? Do you go hiking with daddy? I want them to think of me, so yeah, so things like that. Yeah. So just more than 2 words, but it's really, for me, it's reflection.
Yeah. Great. Yes, for parents who are still here, I totally agree with what you have said. Because I have told my friends, I even asked myself, what kind of husbands do I want my girls to find? Because I got 3 girls, so again, the truth is we will not be here for forever. I mean, let's be truthful. Our lifespan is limited. Yeah, so I want good men to look after my kids. So how will my kids decide who's a good man? The role model at home lah. Yeah. So I always remind myself to make sure that my kids have good men to look after them. I better set good examples at home so they know what to look for or who to look for. Yeah. Again, self-reflection. Okay, Teacher Joe, 12:19 already. I still have one last question for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kopi session can rubber time.
Yeah. And I know that you have so much to share, and I know that you always share a lot. It's endless. Yeah. So you probably, if we book you for 24 hours science marathon now, I think you can why so short? Only 24 hours?
Yeah, I can talk for 3 days, 3 nights about science.
Okay, so right now, Teacher Joe, you know so much in science, and also how to teach your kids, and also like growth mindsets, all the different aspect like psychology for kids. Yeah. So right now, we know that the P6s are pretty stressed out lah. Yeah. Because PSLE is coming soon. So let's say if I may invite you to walk down the memory lane, the younger self, and then the older self bump into the 12-year-old Jolene. She's close. She's so close to you that you can almost touch her, and you can see her looking at you right into the eyes.
Wow, 12-year-old Jolene no good leh. I will tell her to study harder.
Okay, so what will you tell her? No right or wrong, just
serious, study harder. I am very, because I was very playful. And yeah, I was climbing. I'm serious. I was very playful. I would say study harder. The honest ones. Yeah. So okay. I would say it depends on the child currently lah. For the.
So what will you So what will you tell you? Okay.
Yeah. I would say study harder. I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else that you tell her?
No, study harder. I'm serious. I was so carefree. And for me, because the children always ask me, but I'll be very frank. I didn't do exactly like stellar results for PSLE lah. Okay, yeah. So I went to a school that is of not my choice. Yeah, okay, do our personal best. Yeah, but I did go to a school that's of not my choice. So actually, my secondary school years are quite colorful. Very
Like a whole,
colorful. Yeah, very colorful. So I studied very hard during O levels. Study harder lah during O levels. Yeah. So don't ask me. That's another route. That's another route gone. Yeah, gone elsewhere. Yes. So if that time I wasn't careful, I would not have been a teacher. I would not have ended up to be a teacher. I may not even continue my studies. Yeah, so that's another story altogether. Okay, so my okay, then maybe I'll tell her speak less Hokkien, please. Yeah, focus on your English.
Thanks so much for sharing. And I personally believe that we are at the right place at the right time now. So I think we cannot go back in time to change who we were. But I think all these life experiences actually make who you are today and get you prepared to reach
Definitely,
out to
I agree.
all
And
the kids that you have touched on.
correct. And I feel that it's because of that. That's why I could relate to so many children. You know, because I wasn't exactly the goody goo shoe. So when they are naughty, I can relate why, you know, I can understand. And then when they feel stressed and not meeting expectation, I can also relate. Yeah. Just do your personal best. I like what Yvonne said. Just do your personal best. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so last one before we really end off. So if parents want to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
You can always contact me at contact@BlueTreeEducation.com. Yeah.
Contact contact you. They might go to you.
Yes, it will be channeled to me, the email somehow. All right. So contact@BlueTreeEducation.com. I don't think I should give my number here because it's too public platform. Yeah. But yes, I if you have any questions, please just let me know. And I'm very friendly one, right? So I will answer your question. For me, like I say again, it's a privilege to be a teacher. So every child that somehow has connection with me, I will do my best to help. I will really do my best to help, especially during the times now, right?
Great. So parents, thanks so much for being here. And for this past 1 hour and a half, we have Teacher Jo from BlueTree Education. And now I know why blue. Yeah, get you to what? To
focus.
To focus. Okay, to focus.
Blue is the color of wisdom. Yeah. That's why you see a lot of politicians, they wear blue.
I see. And parents, there's no need to change your table. I mean, from what Teacher Jo said, you can buy stationery. Yes, yeah. But please do not just grab all you can.
Yeah.
I mean, save some for the other parents as well.
Just grab the files lah. The files will do already.
Just grab the files. Oh my god, parents go and grab all the files that you can get. All get everything. Okay, so thanks so much, Jolene. Really
welcome.
Thanks for your time, and I think now I have learned so much in even how to teach my own kids.
I'm always learning from you as well, John. Yeah, we all learn together. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Joe, don't go off first.
Sure.
Just 1 minute wrap up and then that's it.
Can.
Okay. Stop Facebook Live.